Well, this episode's kind of a sleeper. Episode 2, Bloodletting. It opens with a flashback. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe because we're seeing Laurie's perspective when she first saw. Maybe that's how it connects. I mean, we were talking, I don't know, I don't think it connected. But maybe it connected like when Laurie got the news from Shane that Rick got shot, and now she's getting the news that her son got shot. Now she has to deal with the same emotions she was dealing with in the beginning. She thought she lost her husband, he came back. Now she thinks she's going to lose her son. And that does kind of come back. So I'm talking shit out of my ass right now. And yeah, it does kind of come back because she does make a point later on. But besides that, this episode is pretty boring, and it really focuses kind of on the friendship. Shane really does, like, that's the craziest part. And I know in a couple episodes he's going to turn, and he turns, and even the way he turns, you kind of have to give him sympathy. But we'll talk about that later. Because, you know, they make him out to look like a fucking badass. But we'll talk about that. That's another episode. That's the next episode. But in this episode, you see Shane's, like, Rick is traumatized. He thinks he's going to lose his son. He just got his kid back in his mind. He lost his family. He came back to life. He's looking for them. And now he's found his family. And he just got shot in front of his face. And he thinks he's going to be killed. It's terrible. We were introduced to new characters. Otis, for one. I've been a fan of his since he was on an episode of Quantum Leap. When I was a kid, he played a guy who kidnaps. It's a good episode. If anybody likes sci-fi and time traveling, they should check out Quantum Leap. Although not all the episodes are on Netflix, which is kind of whack. But anyway, they get to the farm. Rick introduces himself, says, "Your man shot my son." And we're introduced to almost everybody. And Hershel's a nice, caring man who's going to do everything in his power to help Carl. But he has nothing there. He has no medicine or anything like that. Which also, I'll talk about that in a few episodes later. It's like, what the fuck was the point of this? Just for show, just for the TV show, but whatever. Laurie thinks she heard the gunshot and she's worried. She thinks something's wrong. At the same time, they're still heading back to the highway. And we find out that T-Dog's name is Thurgood Douglas. That's his name. Finally. I finally caught it. He doesn't say it very clearly either when he says what his name is, because he's kind of going to see now. In the last episode, he got, when he was trying to hide from the herd of walkers coming down, he cut his arm on a piece of rusty metal, and his arm's infected. And Dale's like, "Oh shit, why didn't you tell anybody? Now we gotta find antibiotics or anything here." Actually, this episode does get somewhat interesting. It's a sleeper episode for a majority, because it's just, you know, drama and soap opera-y. I guess, I don't even think that's a word, but, you know, it was like a soap opera. That's why I think Frank Darabont said it, like, the show's become a soap opera now since I've left. Which is kind of true. It's more dealing with the individual problems in the group. So we have this issue, you know, all these little issues. So now there's a side issue with Thurgood Douglas, T-Dog, and and Dale looking for antibiotics. Also, we find out that Carl needs medicine. He doesn't have the proper, and also, I think, a respirator, and they don't have one there because Hershel's not a doctor, he's a veterinarian. And Rick's like, "All right, we gotta go get it." He's like, "No, I need you here because you're the same blood type and you have to give blood." So he's like, "All right." Shane steps up like a man, and again, like I said, you see his friendship with Rick and how close they are, and how he, even through all the shit that's going on with Shane and Laurie, and how he wants to leave the group because he can't be around her because he does love her. He does love his best friend too. He's still his best friend. He did not do it intentionally. And he's struggling with that. And he's looking at him and he's seeing the trauma he's going through. And at the same time, you have to believe that Shane does have some feelings about Carl too. He loves him as like a stepson or something like that, because he's like, "I'm going. I'll go. Nah, that boy's like my boy. You know, it's like his son. I'll go." And then Otis is like, "I'm going to. I shot him. I didn't mean to, and I owe that boy that much. If I lose my life in the process," well, he doesn't say that, but you know, that's what he means. They head out to the school, which they said there was, I guess, a FEMA camp there or something that was there, and so they go over there because they know that's where they'll find the stuff. Maggie gets Laurie, and then Laurie has this whole, you know, reoccurring thing with the beginning of everything that's going on. So at the end, it kind of gets good, but then it cuts off. So it's like, you know. We're about to see Shane and Otis go into they thought there weren't going to be that many walkers there, and it was just a nightmare. And again, the walkers are fast, or at least faster, and you'll see in the next episode how much more faster they are. than they are now. And you could say, oh, they're decaying and everything like that, but not necessarily. I mean, I don't know. They could still be, new people are turning all the time. New people are getting bit, so there still should be somewhat fast walkers also, and smart ones that can jump and shit like they did. But no, that's not what we're getting. Hopefully, some fans like me that do want to see faster walkers again, like in the earlier seasons, we will get to see that in later seasons coming up. But as of right now, no, they're just worse and worse and worse looking, more decayed, instead of seeing newer walkers. Or, well, I'll talk about that when that season comes up too. Anyway, yeah, that is the show. It ends with, I believe, Shane and Otis breaking into the school. And then that's it. Then we're supposed... Or getting trapped, like getting chased into the school and having to lock themselves in. And then they're like, oh, we're done. Actually, it's a sleeper episode because it takes to the end to get good, but it was still enjoyable. I enjoyed it at the end. Like, the end was like, oh, it gets you excited for the next episode. The next episode was much better. This one's a good, like, interlude. I shouldn't say sleepers. This is an interlude episode. It's good. It's got some stuff in there. Also, we see that T-Dog's kind of feels like he's just like... basically, the writing is kind of like he's saying, like, I'm just a token black guy. Like, I'm nobody. You got two hillbilly cops. I'm about to die. You think they're going to go rush out of their way? And no, you got two hillbilly cops and a redneck. A racist redneck running out there looking for this little girl. You think they're going to go rush out looking for medicine for me? So he's kind of feel like, I'm expendable. Not the token black guy, but he's like, I'm expendable. Like, and Dale's like, what are you talking about? We're like, this is a community now. Like, we're like a family. You're not expendable. And you find out something next episode. Woo! But anyway, it was a decent episode. Kind of slow. Picked up at the very end. But, you get introduced to new characters. There's a lot going on. Still looking for Sophia, T-Dog's arm. It's a lot. It's a lot to go on. But it's a good episode, and it deals with a lot of, like... Which the Shane stuff is good. Because you get to see it, and you're like, damn, this guy really does care about... And this is fucked up. Anyway, talk to you guys next time. Peace.